Jonty, it's deadline day this weekend. It's come down to the one fixture. You've spoken about it in previous weeks. You didn't want it to come down to this fixture. You wanted it wrapped up well before now. But we're here Saturday. Toulouse are the opponents. Get your thoughts on this weekend.
Yeah, we've had plenty of goes at trying to get out of this mess now, haven't we? And this is the last chance alone for us regarding how we are and the possible survival in this league. We've got to be the best we can be, which I know they've got it in them, but we've got to be different how we have been this last few weeks, because that's why we've been on the wrong end of a few results. But they've always got that something in them, and I'm hoping that comes out this weekend. We've had a chilled out week this week regarding we've still got lads carrying a lot of knocks. Some lads haven't trained. It's just a case of turn up on Saturday for a couple, which is what we've been doing with them anyhow. So there's nothing changed there. But we just talked about what we need to do as a team, how we need to go about our attitude going into the Saturday, how we're going to play the game regarding our tactics with this French side. They're a good side, aren't they? We've done video last few games for them. So the lads know what the task is in front of them. It's going to be tough. But Toulouse have got next week after that. We've got Saturday, and that is it. So there's no more after Saturday. So I'm hoping that's sinking in. That's what we've talked about this week. And don't forget, there's going to be lads it's going to be the last game for Whitehaven on the weekend. So I'm hoping it's a positive end of the season, and then we can forget about them last 5 or 6 weeks till the start of the next season, when I'll have to review what we've done and how we've been and go about putting it right. But ultimately, it's this Saturday. Everything hinges on Saturday, mate, and we've got to be the best. We've got to want it. We've got to have that desire and that will to do everything possible to get the best result out of the game on the weekend.
We've spoke about it in previous weeks, but it's so tight down the bottom there. There's us, Swinton and Keighley, all level on 16 points, and there's only a 5 points difference between us. It really is crazy how tight it's been down there. We've remarked in previous weeks, and there's been no side in recent years it's been relegated from the Championship with any more than 11 points. There's a side going to go down with a minimum of 16, and people go on about so maybe end of the season, the last few weeks, but if the unfortunate happens, you'll have gone down with only winning one less game than last year, and you were comfortably in them last few weeks. So it just shows you what a tight division it's been amongst all them sides towards the bottom this season.
Well, it is, and this weekend's going to be the same, isn't it? With all three of us, Keighley, Swinton. I think Barrett's safe. What's the chances, and I'm being realistic, I'm always honest, what's the chances of all three teams winning? Us, Swinton, Keighley, you know what I mean? So I think Barrett are safe. We could end up winning and going down, or getting beaten staying up. That's how close it is. So we've all got tough games, mate, and we've all got to fight for that. Every scrap of the game, every 80 minutes, every point is crucial. Whether it's a penalty, whether it's tracking back and saving a try, we've got to fight for everything, mate. And no doubt Swinton and Keith will be the same. So yeah, people are talking about playing Saturday and playing Sunday. That doesn't bother me, John, because this was also a Saturday game. Toulouse, that's just months ago, mate. So I ain't bothered about Saturday and Sunday fixtures. All I'm bothered about was us doing our best, getting something out of the game, and hoping Keighley or Swinton, or both of them, get a worse result, whatever that may be, than we get. Because that's all it down to. The team with the worst result at the weekend, out of us three, will be in League One next year.
We're in a bit of a strange situation, obviously playing the Saturday. You've already named your squad. Perry Singleton drops out following failing his HIA. He didn't have an opportunity. The doctor called it what's known as a Category 1 HIA, so he was initially ruled out. But we do see a return for the first time since that Good Friday fixture of Marcus O'Brien. You mentioned last week Marcus has done a bit of training and wasn't failing it. What's the chances he's had a week's extra training of him potentially being named?
It was just nice to name 21 in the squad. There's times this year when I do name players. I named Dicko a couple of weeks before he did play. He wasn't fit, but I put him in the 21 just to give lads a bit of a boost that they could be coming back. But truthfully, with Marcus, I wouldn't think Marcus will be featuring on Saturday. But he has been training with us. It's good to have him back in and around the squad. All we need for the Marcus when he plays is to be fully confident in what's going on with his knee and be fully fit. And is that going to be this week? Probably not. And that, if it isn't, that gives him another 6 months to get ready for when he does play. So I want the best Marcus that he is. So it wouldn't be right to me putting pressure on him to play this week if he isn't fully fit.
Especially with being, like I said, we've been such a big fixture, you wouldn't want to put that pressure on him.
Don't get us wrong. I think he can mentally. Marcus can handle that. No bother. It's just physically with his knee and confidence with his knee. I wouldn't have any doubt that Marcus. He'd be on the team sheet right now, mate, if he was fit. And that's where I am with Marcus. If he says to me, I'm good to go, he's playing. And that this week, that was last week before next year, I'm not bothered. But if it Marcus O'Brien plays in my 17, it's as simple as that now. I've done the same as I've done with Cal. I left it with Callum to say, right, John, I'm good to go on. And it's worked with Callum. So that's where we're at with Marcus. And
you've mentioned going against the Toulouse side. They've been able to name Ollie Ashall-Bott, which was never to be expected after he'd done his ACL. So they'll be a big, that's a sort of big jump for them, being able to name them. But as you mentioned, they're a really good side. They've been a really good side for a number of years. As you mentioned, they could have the eyes on the playoffs, but like you say, you know what you need to do. Like you said, we went down to the south of France early in the season and they put a good score on ourselves. So we know what to expect going in against this side. Yeah, Jordan, the professional, they are where they are now. The second, whatever happens at the weekend with our result and other results. So they're professional enough to come and not switch off. They're not where they are because they do things like that. So they're going to come, they're going to be all guns blazing. Ashall-Bott will want some minutes under his belt before the playoffs. I think Josh Ralph's in the team. He hasn't played since May, I think. So they're good players. They're going to, 6 months for the ACL is something else, mind. He must have some DNA. But fair play, the coach will want to see them before they play in the playoffs. So it is what it is, man. You look at how they're replacing if they do. Jake Shorrock's been a great player this year. I think Jake's got a broken toe, but so Ralph is replacing a good Jake Shorrock, and same with Ashall-Bott. The fullback who's been playing, the little guy is rapid. He's had a good. I've reviewed the last 3 games, and he's been very good for them. So it's like for like in my eyes, you know what I mean. And hopefully we'll catch him a bit rusty with them not playing for that long, but they're not going to play. You know, and he's not going to put them in if they're rusty, mate. They're going to be good to go. So it is what it is, and we've got to deal with that as a team. We've got to deal. They've got players all over the pitch who's that, and we've done video and we've seen a few places that we maybe get till, but it's all about us containing them first before we can try and break them down, you know what I mean? And I'm going to move away from Saturday because I know it's probably all you've been thinking about at some point this week. But earlier this week, Carl Amo named his Cumbria squad. You've been named in the coaching staff along with likes of David Seed and Scott Backer. Like I say, something slightly different, but it's going to be good when it happens in 3 or 4 weeks' time to have the Cumbria side back down here and plenty of your players named in there as well. Oh, it's brilliant, mate. I've spoken to Carl a bit to go about this, and we look at what happened last year at Down Park with Jamaica with about a 3 or 4 week notice because somebody dropped out of the Jamaica World Cup game, so Cumbria jumped in at that. But this has been now getting organised for months, and Carl's done an absolutely brilliant job of organising it. Whereas last year it was late for a lot of players who had booked holidays for after the season. They've had plenty of notice this time, so we've got a really strong squad going into it. We've named 28, and that's leaving a couple of decent players out as well. So yeah, it'd be good. It'd be good for the fans in this area. Everybody loves that Cumbria team, don't they? So it's always well supported whoever we play. So yeah, it'd be good for them. It'd be good for Kyle and all with the career Kyle's had to finish off with a game in his hometown playing for Cumbria.